let ourselves down with that performance. I said at halftime, I can live with mistakes. The mistakes on the first goal, a mistake on a penalty kick. I can live with mistakes, but I can't live with being outcompeted. And that was the case. It's a Seattle team that was desperate for points, that has a lot of experience and a lot of great players. And we didn't match their intensity for the first half. You challenge the guys to try to get the first goal in the second half, and I think they showed a strong response and did some good things, but it was a little bit short on the night. When you put yourself behind by that many goals in our building, which should never happen, it makes it very difficult. And the getting behind can become a habit, and it's not a habit that I want to have with this group. Again, they show a ton of character and heart, but it's very emotionally draining, physically draining to chase a game from behind. So we need to play with leads. We need to find a way to score first and not concede what anyone who's watched soccer would say are silly goals, really silly goals, and we have to clean that up.
What do you say to Ty Baribo, given his role in this, and was there a conversation with Jose when he comes out, or about his subsequent social media post?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that, but the ties with it's a little bit of a technicality where basically all the names get crossed off that are absent, and you list our starters and then our reserves. Obviously, Real gets crossed off, and then Andre, Damian, who else? I'm trying to remember. So many things this week with all the Marcus gets crossed off, and now you can only choose from the guys that are available in the 20-man roster. So as they come over, we made the decision that we wanted to find a way to get Julian in, get your best attacking player on the field, which I think everybody would understand. But with that, you have to sacrifice one guy. And if you look through the names, unfortunately for Ty, the number gets small, and now you're choosing between, Wagner, McGlynn, Bedoya, Rafa, Donovan, and Ty, and we chose to get Curtin's on the field and at Ty's expense, which is hard. Is it fair? No, but at the same time, it was a decision that we made, and one that we live with. So I haven't seen what Jose did, but
come off in the half. Fair to say all three of them had maybe rough halves.
Yeah, look, I actually think Bueno was fine. Bueno was the victim of we could have subbed 10 guys, at halftime. So, we chose to do that. Jose's a little bit with a yellow card now. We would lose him for the next game against DC. It's 3-0. So, yeah, we made a change. It wasn't his best half. I thought Bueno was fine, and Bizo had a tough half for sure, and, we made some adjustments. I think at 3-0, anyone you choose to come out doesn't have too much of a voice at home, I don't think.
Jim, how do you prevent these sort of goals? It feels like it's more of a mental thing than a soccer thing, based off of the quality or lack thereof that you're conceding in those goals.
Yeah, I think what you see is the importance of consistency of lineup, consistency of team playing together. So we've had a lot of changes in goal, in game, and that continuity goes a little bit. We've had a lot of backline adjustments and tweaks because of a lot of different reasons, sometimes injuries, sometimes a congested schedule, sometimes a restart of a game on a Tuesday night. And you see, when a back four doesn't play together consistently with the same, person in goal and the same, group in front of them, I'll just say there can be more mistakes. I think our strength over the years is we have 0 injuries usually, and we have that continuity and consistency of lineup. And you saw the guys that came into the game today; they're good. They changed the game. Bedoya came in and was excellent. I thought McGlynn came in and shows why he's earned to be a starter on our team and in our league. And Kai, obviously, to have him come in and help us as well. So. You guys know the guys, and we have to choose from that group and get them playing together at their max, because the margins are tight in this league. We have to be almost perfect, to get wins, and we haven't been consistently.
Are you also concerned that when you reach the 3-2 point, the game gets a little bit stale, and you have Chris, you use him for 10 minutes, and that's your only true attack this game in particular is tough because all the changes, but in previous games as well, it feels like there's that lack of a true game changer coming off the bench. You guys miss that in the final parts of these games when you're chasing, where it could be draws into wins or losses into draws.
Look, as the leader, I take the blame when we lose, and I would say that the players would say tonight was certainly a unique one. When we're down 3-0, we're scrambling, so we threw 3 subs, we burned 3 subs pretty quickly, obviously, and at half, and now we're sitting on 1 left. The moment to use it. Chris, we didn't want to go too early because then if someone else gets injured, we're done with subs and we have to play shorthanded. So you're finding a way to get them in there to give them at least some minutes to try to make a play. But yeah, look, everybody. If we're all here and healthy and playing in really good form, I still think we have guys that can help change the game off the bench. But when now it gets a little bit thin, you can see it becomes challenging.
Can you give us an update on Andre's health? Obviously hearing midweek, or I guess Monday going into this game, that a knee needs draining doesn't inspire a lot of confidence for him maybe being involved this Saturday, and sort of the decision making that you all need to make now with Andrew Rick.
Yeah, so Andre in the game it was the first goal. Just the way he went into the goal, I think he had some pain with his knee. It just kind of went a different way. I think it swelled up and had some fluid in there that they were able to drain the following day after the match. With that, you're really up against it for a recovery to be able to go tonight. We recognize that with the hope that maybe, if we're lucky, he could be available for the weekend. It'll still be, how he feels, and he knows his body best, and I trust Andre, and we've been through the battles together. As far as how it affects Rick, Rick's going to be a goalkeeper for the Philadelphia Union one way or another. The rules are such that the 4 call-ups, there's still things with hardship and different discussions that go on with the league where I don't believe tonight made it officially official that he is a first-team guy, but ultimately he's going to be here anyway, so it's really another technicality, which I understand why there's rules in place, but he's going to be part of the first team sooner rather than later anyway. So
you see him as potentially a homegrown really type of deal. I guess obviously conversations with Ernst, but is that sort of what you envision it?
Yeah, sure. And again, is that going to be this year? Is it next year? We've had a unique situation where Holden has a surgery. We've had to use Andrew because Andre's had a lot of little nicks and small little things that have kept him out. We're kind of juggling it and adjusting as best we can.
Thank you.
Yep.
Clarification, first of all, on what you just asked. Is there room on the roster if you have to add Andrew?
Sure, there's always room on a roster. There's 30 first spots and all kinds of stuff.
I heard what you said earlier about Ty sort of being the odd man out as a fair no and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what does it say for you that you listed off all the other guys, Donovan, Raffanello, and so on? This is a guy this team invested a lot of money in, and this is where he is. What does that say to you? Yeah,
look, again, I want to win, guys, and you know that, and it's hard to become a starter for this group. It really is. Ty's worked hard. He's been professional, but we've chosen to go with other guys, and it's not personal. I don't have agendas against people. So, again, I know as soon as it happened tonight, could we have picked somebody else and it would maybe have just been less of a hot button issue? For sure. But, again, going into a game, we wanted to start Julian for sure. So someone was going out because we wanted to put our best guys against a good Seattle team. Unfortunately, the decision goes against him. Right now, Chris is ahead of him. So that's kind of really the easiest way I can answer it. So, again, it's not personal. He's going to continue to be a pro, work hard. Everyone's voice grows, though, when we don't win, and that's a reality that I'll have to deal with. I understand that and respect it.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Yep.